Well, greetings everyone. This is Roger once again coming to you from Brickhouse Guitars here in Kitchener, Ontario. And I have something totally brand new to present to you today. This is a lovely guitar by a younger builder whose name is Zach Lefebvre, and he calls his guitars Treehouse guitars. And that's kind of appropriate because Zach, he actually lives up in northern Ontario at the top of Lake Huron near Sault Ste. Marie on a place called Joseph Island. And he actually has a place there. I haven't been, but it sounds amazing. It's 100 acres of property, of woodland mostly. And he has a cabin there where he lives with his wife and 3-year-old off grid. So he has a very quiet life up there where he can contemplate nature and building these beautiful treehouse guitars. So Zach actually came to visit us about a month ago by invitation, and he brought along some guitars, and he actually left with two less guitars in his car because I kept the two here that I'm proudly now presenting and hopefully finding homes for out there in guitar world. But I'm honored to start working with Zach. These are lovely guitars, and I have some photographs, and I actually what I did is with the help of technology, got Zach to help me describe the guitars. So why don't we just jump to that? Let's have a look at this beautiful guitar. And then I'll come back, of course, and do my noodling and do my demo for you. Well, hey, once again, I'm here with Zach Lefebvre of Treehouse Guitars, and I have these photos that I've taken, and I'm going to ask Zach to comment and maybe answer some questions that I have as we go through the photo set, and hope everybody enjoys them. So no further ado, thanks for doing this for us, Zach.
Hey, my pleasure. My pleasure.
All right, so let's have a look. So here we have guitar number 64, and it is one of your OM models that you call OMZ. And tell us a little bit about its configuration.
Yeah, this is OMZ in Engelmann spruce and Honduras mahogany back and sides. And
It's beautiful guitar. So let's start with the headstock. You can tell us a little bit about that.
yeah, this is my new headstock design, which has been about a year and a half that I've been using it. A little bit more modern looking than my older headstock, and has I think lots of lovely curves to it. So. And
Yes,
then
indeed.
the copper inlay um, is patinated copper using different chemicals to turn it different colors.
That green is insane. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. And then, of course, your nut is bone, and it's a 1 3/4 spacing.
Yeah.
The fingerboard is ebony, and if
hmm
we move up here again, it's a OM, but of course a 14 fret neck joint. And this is bringing us to you can see the binding there, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the binding is Rockolite. It's a man-made ebony alternative. And then I stack it with some black purfling, so it's just becomes this thick black line, basically. But it allows me to round over the binding really nicely, and the whole guitar is uh, the edges are all rounded off, so it's very comfortable to play. Um, and
Yeah,
also
and
the
you
black.
really don't need an arm bevel for comfort. It's almost there, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that was the intention, and then also the black just ties in with
Yeah,
the
it's so
rest of
sweet,
this.
very elegant. So
Thank you.
that brings us to the top, and this is, as you said, Engelmann. Tell us a little bit about that top and where you sourced it.
That one, oh boy, where did I
Haha, put
get
you on the
it?
spot.
I sourced it from my stack of Engelmann spruce. I don't remember where that one came from. But it's I did some sonic grading, did some testing on material properties, and it tested very high, so I was excited to use
To
it.
use it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really like perfection. It just is very, very beautiful.
it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I love Engelmann. I find that it just produces such a sweet tone, and it's very
Mm.
responsive for a spruce. So yeah.
Yeah,
So this brings us to the bridge design, and I'm going to tie it in. I have a photo of your interior bracing too, but tell us quickly about that.
yeah. The design of the bridge is mainly trying to take away mass where it's not needed. So the wings that extend outwards, they catch the X brace, which is pretty important in a bridge design. Um, but the wider portion where the saddle and the bridge pins are coincides with braces on the inside of the guitar, which we can see on the in that photo. So those braces that go from the bridge plate uh, over to that cross brace are um, they're essentially taking the torquing forces of the bridge and transferring them over to that central area of that lower bout between the bridge and the base of the guitar
Nice.
without
Well,
interfering with the pickup installations in the future or whatever.
exactly. That was one of the first things I looked at. Okay, can I put a pickup? They said yes.
Yeah.
Um, so, well, that brings us to back out to the exterior here, and we can see the rosette there, which is a very unique design. Beautiful copper inlay there as well. Quickly, some thoughts on that.
Yeah, just the segmented. I've always been attracted to asymmetry in design, so breaking up the circle on in one spot just felt like a good idea to me. And I like also just what the human brain does by completing the circle, even though it's not there. And then
Right.
the bevel on the edge of the sound hole is kind of a nice aesthetic detail too. It's a
Nice.
pretty
Yeah.
bevel.
Quite elegant. Nice. So just before we get to the back there, you can see your sound port as well. And yeah, just any quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, the sizing. I'm a fan of sound ports, so I include them in my guitars unless somebody doesn't want them. Um, and I do try to keep them this size. Like I have the same size on all my guitars because it seems to work well with my guitar design. Um, if you make the sound port too big, you're gonna lose bass response in a guitar.
Yeah.
So that's the theory behind it.
Well, so here we are at the back of the headstock, and I love the fact that you sign each one of them. That's pretty cool. Very nice personal touch.
Thanks.
Yeah, and then a glimpse of your Goto 18-to-1 ratio tuners, and those are quite nice. You kind of get a sense of the oil finish as well. Do you put a bit of stain on the neck as well, or
No, this is all natural color. Um, but I
okay.
in an oil finish on a neck, I think it's impossible to beat as far as playability. It just feels so nice.
It feels amazing? Yeah, and then we can see your heel there, and that is bolt-on neck system. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
any
So
thoughts that you want to quickly go over on that, or
sure. Yeah, all my guitars have fully bolt-on, bolt-off necks. It's just fits with my philosophy of making guitars that are gonna last a long time and are serviceable. So it's a really rock solid neck joint. Very easily serviced and a lot of wood to wood contact. So I think it's hard to beat a neck joint like that.
absolutely? Yes, indeed. So here we are, back of the guitar. Lovely piece of, nicely quarter sawn, straight grain mahogany.
Mm.
So rich. And I'm a sucker for mahogany. I love mahogany.
It's
Um,
such an underrated tone wood, in my opinion.
it really is.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a close up of this almost Art Deco looking inlay there.
Yeah.
Uh, And I love again how that copper just like pops. It's just so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Now,
something about the
will that change a
combination.
bit over time, or will that's kind of how it's going to be for forever?
I've seen some of them change just a little bit. Just the colors get maybe a little bit more dull, and it might be more because the epoxy that's over top of it than the actual copper.
Hmm.
But for the most part, it stays pretty much the same.
It's stable. Excellent.
Yeah.
And there's a continuation. So that is ebony there for your end graft, and then of course more of that beautiful copper.
Mhm.
So, last but not least here, just a kind of a view of the body of the guitar, and you can see those beautiful clean lines. I love the wide, distinctive purfling, that binding purfling sort of combo there. And yeah, congratulations on just the quality of your workmanship. It's just everything fits perfectly. There's nothing sloppy. It's all clean. It's all very mature. So you have a finely crafted guitar that sounds pretty darn amazing. And I think with that said, yeah, we're going to move on.
All right. Thanks so much for the compliments.
Well, hey, thank you for walking through those photos with me there. It's very helpful, it's just so much more informative and fun to do. So thank you for taking the time
Oh,
to help me out with that.
yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
All right. Well, enough said. Now it's time to listen. Cheers.
All right. See it.
Well, that was kind of cool. That's the first time we've done things that way. What do you think? Right? It's really nice to have the perspective of the builder, and I hope to do more of that. I have a second Treehouse guitar that we've done the same way, so watch for that one as well, coming soon. So, what do I say first about this lovely guitar? It's just, I don't know, I love how friendly it is. There's just some kind of a vibe about it that is just like, oh, you could be my friend. I think it has to do with the very sort of discreet but elegant, design. I love the satin oil finish. This is so unique the way he's done this, basically what looks like a solid black lining. It's really that the combination there of purfling and binding, but it really, like everywhere, even on your chest, your arm, you've got this nice rounded corner. So when I'm playing it, I feel very comfortable. The neck also with that oil finish is super comfortable. The scale is just slightly shorter than some others than normal. So all of those things together, of course, with the sound port, and its size, like the waist that comes in, like it fits. So it's hard not to go like, wow, before I even play you, I feel like playing you. And that's actually quite an important attribute is, when it fits before you even get to strum it, just when you have it in your hands, that's a very, very good sign. So Zach, as we talked about in an interview, he's all about trying to create a guitar that has enough power to it, and he's always looking at trying to get a guitar that's more robust, but also that keeps the notes that are solid and thick and have some substance. You don't want a guitar that'll thin out as you push it, and then you want a certain degree of sort of woodiness and natural sound. So this has that. The mahogany gives you that warm bass. See, he's got a beautiful sustain, which to me is always important. done. Very well done. Yes, indeed. This is a builder to watch for. Absolutely. So, thanks again to Zach for helping show off this guitar. And here is my standard demo for you now. Cheers, everyone. Well, very, very, very nice. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Cheers.